Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426 and today we are reviewing something different as usual. So once again, it has been a while since I reviewed one of these. So this is the Transformers Legacy Armada Optimus Prime. So once again, I'm not the biggest or like Transformers fans or like the biggest collector when it comes to Transformers, but I always keep track of the whole series, and I do buy like certain figures that do pique my interest time to time. So once again, these were one of those products that I really wanted to try out, but once again, at the time, I thought it was kind of expensive and passed on it, and to later figure out it was very popular, so to the point where people were either not reselling them or they were reselling them but at a higher price. So it took me a while to find one, but finally got one. I'm not sure if there's a big difference, but the one I got is basically the Takara Tomy version, which as far as I know is the exact same product, but you know, on the box should have Takara Tomy slapped on it with a few Japanese text on it as well. And then also the box came in with another additional paper wrap kind of thing on the box to make it look like the old traditional like 80s to 90s super robot Japanese toy kind of thing. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So once again, this won't be much of a regular thing, but once again, recently I tried to get some stuff that I either passed on or saw as a kid but never had. So these were one of the things I passed on, and there's another certain red fire truck that I saw as a kid but never had, and that review will be coming soon as well. Anyway, let's see what we got. So unlike Gunpla, where you have to open the box and then get the plates out and then cut off the parts from the plates and then assemble, this one is a fully assembled figure slash toy. So once again, once you open the box, everything is there. There's no stickers, no decals or anything. Also no effect parts, because I have bought a few Commander classes previously, like Jetfire, Skylynx and such, and some of them would come with effect parts like firing effect parts or thruster effect parts. This one does not come with any. The only thing that's other than the product in the box is the manual, and for some reason they have a Japanese sticker slapped on here for some reason. So oh well. Alright, so this review, I will not be showing the transformation process because once again, I'm not too I'm not too good in terms of like transforming really fast. So once again, I'll be showing you the articulation after the transformation, so I won't be showing you guys the process. Alright, let's see. So first of all, I'm going to show you guys truck mode, and then we're going to look at Optimus Prime, his base mode, his normal mode, and then also his like playset mode or fortress or play defense mode kind of thing, because apparently Optimus Prime these days, like these trailers would transform into like a small base slash like a small base for defense kind of thing. So we'll show you guys that as well, and then see the power link or super mode version as well. So once again, Armada series, I have seen partial of it, not entirely, but yeah, I am slightly familiar with how they work and such. So let's see what we got. So once you open it from the box, obviously the truck and the trailer are separate pieces. You can connect them from here. Now when you get this out of the box, this will be like folded in a very a more rectangular shape because of packaging, obviously. So luckily the manual does show you how to make it into its trailer form that you're supposed to have as well, so you can do that. Now for the weapon here, as far as I know, in the manual, I don't think it really mentions that it tells you to put the gun inside there. So usually, yeah, the manual does not show that the gun can go inside there. I just also happened to watch a few other videos, and people were telling on the video that you can slap the gun inside here. So that's that. Alright, so once again, a very nice shaped trailer. Now this is actually a trailer that has function rather than a typical empty old G1 style Optimus Prime trailer where there's something inside where it's either like a cannon or some sort of a vehicle. No, this actually has a big function or purpose regarding Optimus Prime. So yeah, not much to say in terms of articulation, but they have these stand thing here where I believe even without it, it will go down like that. But considering that this is a trailer, you're always going to have this. So once again, if you want to like display this separately on its own for some reason, you can always pull these things down and then call it a day. So that is possible as well. So let me put that on the side. So obviously we have these weapons and obvious parts are here. Now, I have heard that I have found a guy who contacted me, and then he said he wanted to offer me a good deal for there's an upgrade kit, apparently not from Hasbro, but from a third-party company or unofficial company that makes like upgrade parts to make this look even better. So I might actually consider that. Alright, so the truck, at this stage, there's not much to say. I mean, there are these wheels here, but once again, these are like wheels here, not the treads here, so these do not actually move at all. But once again, I do appreciate the fact that everything here looks clean, painted on and such, so very well done. Alright, and now for the truck here. Now once again, when you open the box here, the only thing that you need to attach is that these things will be attached onto the gun that you just saw in the front. You have to reattach them here, so that's where they're supposed to do and work as smokestacks. Once again, for the truck mode, they're very futuristic or Cybertronian style design. I think they did a pretty good job. Now the only thing that makes this obvious that this is somehow a robot is these gigantic fists here. So yeah, and if you look at the bottom, not too shabby as well, and then the front looking very well done. The only thing I would say that could bug or bother some people is the window, because in the window you can see all this stuff inside here, and well, these like peg things do not look that pretty. So I think it might have been better if they went with like an entirely black window or something like that to not actually see the inside, but that's just me. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the vehicle mode. Obviously the wheels roll, and then these are plastic tires as far as I can tell. I can chew on them, but yeah, they definitely feel like plastic. Alright, so I'll be right back with the robot mode and the base mode, so I'll be right back. Okay, here we have the base mode and Optimus Prime itself. So to make things easier, let's look at the base mode itself, because I really have not much to say about it. So here we have the base mode. So yeah, you open up the trailer, you fold up a few parts, and you're good to go. So once again, I can kind of understand that they were trying to make some sort of play set as well using the trailer. And then once again, I do know, like, you know, depending on the series, like each trailer did have like a function here. Although once again, this one, while it does look convincing enough, but once again, even with Optimus Prime here, I'm not sure what to do here, because it's not like the turret has like some handles where he can hold this properly, or there's like a chair or some sort where he can sit on. So yeah, a little bit, I really have not much to say, but once again, it's a fun gimmick. Although I'm not sure there's I don't think there's going to be many people buying this product just because of the sets for the base mode. So once again, pretty cool concept, but not much to do here. All right, so let me get that out of the way. I'm just gonna leave his rifle here, and then let's see what we got in Optimus Prime himself. So once again, really liking the design here. As far as I know, these are one of the Transform Optimus Prime variants where this one is on the more clunky or chunky side. But once again, it's always good to see various types of styles here. So once again, let's see what we got. And as far as I know, the old toy was much more larger, clunkier, and had like awkward proportions. But this one, I say it looks spot on. Alright, so let's see what we got in terms of the head. Head is your typical Optimus Prime style head. Everything is painted beautifully as well. I have no issues here whatsoever. Once again, although I just wanted to mention that this, of all the Commander classes I have, this one, it has the most like stiffest parts as well, or tightest joints, whatever you call it. So head can go down, up that much. 360 twist is technically possible, although a little bit stiff, but manageable. And then let's look at the chest before we go to the arms. Now the chest here, nice silver grill. You can open up to reveal the matrix of leadership. Now it may look red, but actually if you can plug it out, and it's just making the red peg, making it look you know, red. But once again, the piece itself is actually a clear color piece, so very well done. Although of all the matrix of leadership, I think this one has the most simple design here. And once you plug it in, it's a pretty tight fit. So once again, I don't think you'll be losing this on purpose as well, unless you actually pull it out and throw it into like the abyss. Anyway, so let's look at the arms. Now, despite how the arms look, this may look very clunky or less articulated, but it's actually very well articulated. So once again, 360 twist is possible as well, and going to the side 90 degrees is also possible. Now, this part is mostly moving because of the transformation, but you can also use it. So technically 90 degrees to the side is possible, although this may look a little bit awkward, but still works very well. And then bend-wise, you get a very nice bend. More than 90 degrees is possible, and you get a 360 twist on the arm itself. So very stable. And then hands can go 360, but unlike Gunpla, it's not exactly on a ball joint, so there's no wiggle movement as well in here, unlike where a Gunpla would have a ball joint and you could have a little bit more wrist movement, but still that does not here it doesn't exist here, but still have enough. And although while 360 twist is possible, it's just getting the hand inside, moving the hand or rotating the hand might be tricky because of the armor is wrapped around the hand area. All right, so that's that. And then let me just move these up forward, and looking at the back here, nothing too special here. You have the back skirts that can move up and down as well, and side skirts that can flap up and down here, and nothing too special to mention about the backpack, although I am curious how they're going to do Jet Optimus Prime, if they are going to do it, because as far as I know, like the power link mode, I think there should be no issue, but yeah, just kind of curious because you can take this part off and reveals another peg, so I'm kind of curious if they're actually going to do Jet Optimus Prime. All right, and then let's look at the legs. So once again, back in as someone who grew up with 80s and 90s toys as well, when it comes to robots, there would be certain joints that would just limit the robot to look cool. So for example, the ankle pivots here. I really wish like the old toys would have this, but since if you don't have any ankle pivots, the thing is that you're pretty much going to be making it stand 90 degrees straight like this, and without any ankle pivots, even if you spread the legs without any ankle pivots, it's not going to be able to stand properly, or it's going to look awkward. This one, despite how it looks, it has everything that you could want when it comes to articulation. So let's look at the articulations. So let me just open up the skirts. So first of all, legs can go to the side 90 degrees, although the side skirts might collide with the wheels, but no big deal. Going 90 degrees up front is possible, ratchet joint here, and backwards almost possible. It's just the back skirt colliding with each other as well. And then bend wise, another ratchet joint 90 degrees up is possible to the front, or bending is possible, or 90 degrees to the forward part is possible. Now, this is only possible because he's robot. If this was to be a human, he'd be screaming in pain. All right, I think a little bit more to the front. There we go. And then feet-wise, this is what I love it. So, ankle pivot, very, very well done. Although on the other side, there's no toe bend to the front. There's no, since it's not a ball joint, but it's just a joint here. So it's not like you can wiggle the feet around. So no rotation on the feet, but still, I think this should be enough. And regarding toe bends, you do have a toe bend to the front if you want to do so. And I have just noticed there is some pegs on the bottom. So yeah. So with this, you can spread the legs and still have some pivots and have a nice wide stance if you want to do so. So very, very well done. Now the only equipment that you'll be using for this guy is his blaster. So you just, actually, there we go. You plug it into the hand and you're good to go. Although I do wish there was a more separate handle, because the handle is just a peg, but still works very well. And seems like you can plug in the effect parts in here if you have any. So very well done. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the base mode and Optimus Prime himself, so I think there's only one thing left to show, and it's his super mode, which is pretty much the main reason I bought this product. So once again, I'll be right back with the combined form, because once again, number one, I haven't really memorized it, and number two, even though if I have memorized it, just showing you the whole process in camera is going to be a mess, so I'm just going to skip that part, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have Armada Optimus Prime in his super mode, and it's big. It's big. It's almost touching the top ceiling of my bookshelf. So, and to give you guys an idea how big this thing is, here is a standard 1:144 scale HD kit in terms of Gunpla. So once again, you can see it's much taller. I would definitely say this is even taller than a typical mass grade kit. Now, of course, then some people will be asking, what's the scale on this? And the thing is, I don't think Transformers toys or figures, they actually go for the scale, because they have Voyager class, Leader class, Commander class, Core class, whatever class they have. I'm still not used to the whole class, categorizing thing in the Transformers, so I do apologize for that aspect. I usually mostly collect anything that looks big, other than Titan classes. So usually, I think so far the ones I've collected are the Commander class or the Leader classes, as far as I know. There's also the Studio series, but once again, I'm not sure if those also count or they're a separate thing, but yeah. Alright, so let's look at the articulation really quick, although I'm not sure if I can even show properly. So let me just, so the head, definitely I do like the design of this head, personally. So head can go, it's on a ball joint, so 360 twist possible, up and down movement is possible as well. I just want to be careful not to hit anything on the top, so I'm being a little bit careful. Now the arms, you can see all ratchet joints, 360 twist possible. Going to the side is also possible, and then because it's Optimus Prime's legs, or in his standard mode, 90-degree bend forward and backwards also possible. If this were to be a human, he'd be screaming. And then twist is also possible, although this is technically the side swivel in terms of his base mode. Now, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious this thing does not have any ab crunches as well, but it does have a little bit of movement that you can do on the front. So you can rotate this, but it's not the front, it's not the top section body moving, it's actually the whole, you know, upper, like, beyond this point that's actually rotating, so it is possible. 360 might be tricky because the back skirt does get in the way, so yeah, you might have a little bit of limitation 360, but just wanted to mention that you do have a little bit of articulation regarding that as well. And you know, all those missile launchers you saw goes into the back skirt here, although there's one in the back, but I think this only comes in relevance when he uses his mini-con onto the shoulder, when he uses a power shot move going on there as well. Now the side skirts also move around, back skirt does go up and down a little bit, but a little bit big as well. So, and then the front skirt does also rotate, but this is for something else. And then going to the side, 90 degrees is possible, and then forward 90 degrees almost possible. It's just mostly for colliding with other parts. So backwards is possible, but your back skirt is going to get in the way, so not much options there. Side swivel does exist despite how chunky and huge the thing is. And then actually bend also does exist, a 90-degree bend, but this time there's no bend. A little bit to the fore, but I think that's a little bit forward, but that's not really intentional, so yeah. And then while it's not ball jointed, the feet has no toe bend, but you get a super pivot here, so yeah, that is very good. And I'm constantly colliding the head with the top section of my bookshelf, but yeah, I absolutely love the size of this. I think this is like another good example of what a commander class should be, or kind of a prime example of a you know, a commander class here, and I think this definitely takes the cake. Now, I have recently noticed that there's an Ultra Magnus commander class kind of thing going on from the Studio series, so that's the part that kind of confused me, is the whole categorization of the classes here. So either way, yeah, absolutely love the size, the articulation is good, and then the color is very nicely done. I don't see any flaws in this. The only thing I would say, like, the back may look a little bit messy, and the back skirt may look a little bit messy, but once again, as far as I know, this is how it was like in the show / series, so there's not much to complain about. Now my only question is, are they actually gonna do Jet Optimus Prime? Because that would require a new, you know, obviously Jetfire, and then it will have to transform into his legs here, so to do a power link. Now, one thing regarding the hands is that you have the blaster, so might feel a little bit small, but still works as well. And then yeah, make sure these flaps don't open up as well. And then hands actually do rotate a little bit, but you want to be careful about this part as well. Now, for those who have like commander class, let's say Jetfire for example, you might have noticed this part here. When it is in fist mode, then obviously you have this hole that can come out, but when you open the hand on Jetfire, this thing would actually go retract inside, as far as I remember. This one does not seem to have that function, so that's one part I have noticed. I'm not sure if other like Motormaster commander class does that, because Motormaster I did not buy because it was way more expensive than I expected, and not really a fan of the character himself, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was the only part that I find odd is the hand, but other than that, hopefully the upgrade kit will actually solve this issue. But once again, overall, that was the review of the commander class Armada Optimus Prime here. So once again, I absolutely love the figure here, despite being a bright looking toy, but once again, I don't think it's really meant for young kids. These were meant for those who actually grew up watching the series, or just a big fan of this specific character in general. So once again, no regrets despite the price point as well. Very big, well articulated despite its size, not much flaws as well. Anyway, that is pretty much it. If you guys got any questions or requests, them comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews on, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.